15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame, 15 minutes of the fast cars and icy chains. I'm addicted to the fast life, it's so insane. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame, 15 minutes of the fast cars and icy chains. I'm addicted to the fast life, it's so insane. 15 minutes in the making, 15 minutes of the fame.
Welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. This is your handsome host, Khalil Murray, aka Kaiser. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the Muslims, to everybody else, salute. We here, I don't even know the exact number of the episode, but I believe that we like in the 20s, early 20s, somewhere around there. And it's biting outside. So I know that for a fact. That's Chilly Willy. And I'm in a good mood. And I want to tell y'all why I'm in a good mood. Because about an hour ago, I called my youngest daughter, and my oldest daughter answered the phone. And when I tell you, the feeling that I felt in my chest is like, still got my chest like vibrating and like feeling like, I remember I seen something in the book where it said, you happier than a dog with two tails. And that's how I feel. And I'm happy. I'm saying happy, almost moved to tears still from the phone call an hour ago, because hearing my oldest daughter's voice from my youngest daughter's phone, at first, like I said to them, just that they was together, that my oldest daughter went up there to see her little sister, and just thinking that I'm together, my babies, my girls, my princesses, it just, I couldn't stop smiling the whole time I was on the phone with them. Then after getting off the phone and going to make salat, it's just like, as a father, man, and it just put me in a different kind of like state of mind. And off of what I was, going to be the topic today, I just wanted to talk about that as a father and the delight of being a father. And I don't mean in the regards of just you had a baby. And I don't mean in regard as you just, having sex with the woman that you was with to help conceive that child or whatever, by the permission of Allah. All right. I mean when you actually are a parent as a father and trying to be in your child's life and participate in their cultivation and nurturing and upbringing and the development of them from babies to being, young women. My youngest daughter, is a teenager still, and my oldest daughter is in her mid-20s. Coming up on 30, and just to think about their ages and where they are and how grown they are, and being proud of them for being ambitious and strong. Like my baby's not weak. My babies, they have strength, and I see a lot of different characteristics in them that I'm proud of. That I don't want to, sound too prideful, like that I attribute them to myself, but that I can tell that they're tenacious like me. Like that they have a certain kind of willpower like me that, I can say is comparable. And for men who have daughters specifically, I just wanted to
SCI Phoenix State Correctional
Institution. She got a dad.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Right, whoever she is, Becky, she got a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like the women who have fathers, and the women who have fathers who they know loved them and cared about them and will be willingly, sacrifice and exchange their life for theirs, give them their last, do anything for them. Women understand how important it is to have a father, and that the missing in the absence of a father and how detrimental that'd be. And so for a lot of the fathers who are home, and for even the fathers who are here in the position like I'm in, who have daughters, because like to say that too, I want to be clear that I have a son, right? My son is the middle child. But my concern for my son is never as it is the way that my anxiety be for my daughters. And it's because the women are made differently than us. And this is not to try to talk about women being weak in the sense of being fragile or in the sense of being weak the way we consider a person being weak. I don't mean in that sense. Women are more fragile than men. Our bodies are made to carry babies. You know, y'all have wombs that carry precious gems that Allah put in your bodies. Y'all not made to be laborers, and y'all weren't created the way men have, the wide and broad shoulders and the stronger bones to deal with the brunt and the forces of blows and warfare and all of that kind of stuff. This is what I mean. You know, the women are kind of not some mean, and some women out there that are mean and would want to be in the mix with all of that kind of stuff. But I mean, I hope y'all understand what I mean when I'm saying with how they are. So with my daughters in this kind of lifestyle where bullets are flying, straight bullets are flying through the air in our neighborhoods, where we see men running up on older ladies and sucker punching them and snatching their pocketbooks from them. You know, when we see men running up on women and raping them and dragging them in the alleyways and doing all that kind of crazy stuff.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
That's the concern I be having for my daughters. Not just for all of those kind of instances, but see, I know that ain't happening to men. Men getting sucker punched and getting robbed and beat up and all of that kind of stuff too, but not as the way that it's happening to women. Because see, men, the cowards who are doing those kind of things, in their minds, they're thinking, yeah, I can get away with doing this to a woman. It's going to be sweet to do this to this older lady. Because dude right there, he might give me a way to go. You with me? So with my babies, my daughters, that be the concerns. So when I call them and I have conversations with them, or like I just had a visit with my oldest daughter and sitting and talking with her for the few hours that we had together, my thing be development, and my thing be to give her the tools and trying to help her with the ways to think, because sometimes in life, in the way that we come up, we're not provided with a lot of different perspectives. You might see something one way when there's so many other angles and ways to look at it, or to deal with it, or to react to it, or not react to it. And we be shorted from this. And me being the kind of guy that I am, with two daughters, my thing be to give my daughters all of it. Because they out there in the tough society, in the mean society. They in Philly. And right now, we know what's going on in Philly. And so my thing be, as a father, to equip my babies with best kind of information that I feel as though that they can have. So while they out there with those kind of men, they'll be smarter than them. Or as smart as those men are. Either or. Smarter than them, as smart as they are, but definitely in a position where they'll know how to maneuver and carry themselves in case of a situation, and it's not in the best situation that, that might be best for them to come out in. And that's all I be wanting for my daughters, because again, like I said, I got one son and he's in the middle. And although I have brothers, still, my family ain't as tight as I would like it to be. A lot of our families aren't. So I feel like fathers, listen, it's a duty of fathers. It ain't something that we, it's a duty of fathers. I'm going to go there and take that and be fair and honest and just keep it a buck. It's a duty of fathers to give their daughters everything that they're supposed to be able to give them when it comes to their development. You know what I'm saying? It ain't something that I feel like we should be this way. No. As a father, you're supposed to be trying to make sure that your daughter is okay from everything that she's doing, and trying to participate and be involved with how she's developing and how she's coming up and being nurtured so that she'll know how to move on a day-to-day basis when it comes to her boyfriend, when it comes to her husband, when it comes to her baby father, when it comes to her ex-husband, when it comes to a future boyfriend. Any of that kind of stuff, you should want her to be prepared for it. When it comes to life, when it comes to her job, when it comes to school, when it comes to her children, when it comes to her parents. A father's supposed to give that to her. It ain't all on the mother. Because, see, there's two different things that goes on here with parents. Just like it is when it comes to a father raising a son. Like, of course, we say, yeah, every little boy need a man in his life. True. The same way, like every little boy need a mother in his life. The same way, the same goes for the daughter. As much as she need her father in her life, she need her mother in her life. Because it's two different things that's going to come from both of them. There's a balance that's supposed to be in between. You know, the same way with in the pluses that's supposed to come with it, that the same way it is for a little boy coming up under a mother, because that mother should be able to teach that little boy, this is how you treat a woman. What you see your father not doing is what I want you to do, and what you should be doing when you become a father. You feel what I'm saying? What your father not doing, you know what I'm saying, is what I want you to step up and be, because that's ain't how it's supposed to be. On the flip side, with a daughter, you give it to her. Same way a mother show her this is the kind of woman, and the way that mother you going to be, and a woman in the house, and a woman at work, you know, and a woman under these kind of circumstances and these kind of pressures. If this go on, how you pay your bills, you know, how you get things together, how you save, you know, all the way down to how you might have to be the one putting your own carpet down. You know what I'm saying? Installing your own appliances in the house and all that. All of that come into play. Because there's some women out here who don't have no men in their lives, or out of choice in some situations, and sometimes out of force. So a woman got to sometimes do some of the things that men at a point in time was the ones that we expected them to do. Changing doors, replacing windows. You know, I remember back in the day was the thing about every winter, like around this time, to come up putting plastic over the windows and all that kind of stuff. And typically it would be a man in the house that would come in and do that. So now we see, because of the lack thereof, women stepping up because they say, I ain't waiting around for no dude to do nothing for me. I'm going to go ahead and I got to do it on my own. I'm going to make sure me and my babies are okay. So on the same token, when it comes to our daughters, fathers, you're supposed to make sure that they're okay and they know what they're doing. And that they ain't easily accessible to being done dirty by people in the streets, whoever it might be. Letting them know when it comes to trusting their friends. Not just being so easily, you know, influenced by anybody, just smiling at them or acting like they're okay with them, because we live in a different kind of world now. And just to say that even just hearing myself say that, the world always been tricky. Because the shaitan always been around. Since the beginning of time with Adam and Eve. We know that the shaitan, the devil, been around. And he been causing animosity and envy and jealousy amongst people. So it ain't like, you know, just in this generation or just in, you know, life being started in certain cases over here in America that things started getting tricky. People been backdooring people, you know, years ago, you know, hundreds and centuries ago. So this is things that our daughters supposed to be aware of and know. And they're owed this. They're owed this from our fathers or their fathers. Because as men, if it's no uncles there, you're not relying on your uncles, or again, let me correct myself, their uncles, or your father, which would be their grandfathers, or their brothers, you know, which would be your sons, or the sons of another man that would be their half brother, or I don't like to really go into the half brother thing, that would be the ones participating in how they're being nurtured and cultivated and stuff like that. That ain't the crutches that we're supposed to be waiting on as men to make sure they get it. It shouldn't be where, like a lot of times, a lot of the young boys, they come up and they learn how to be a man and they learn what's supposed to go on, freestyling it, seeing it on TV, coming up on it, you know, in the streets. That ain't too fair at all. That's the same way with the little girls coming up. It shouldn't be that they learn how to do it through freestyle.
You have 1 minute left.
Or anybody else. Men, it's supposed to be our responsibility. Step up. And as serious as I sound and feel at the moment, and just talking about all of that, because, you know, that's something that's just serious to me, is still, I'm on a wave, I'm in a good mood. And I hope that for all of the little girls and all of the older girls out there who have had fathers and don't have fathers, that, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places a kind of man in your life at some point that helps you with that, I hope that my daughters are okay. I hope that your daughters are okay. And I hope that you're taking into consideration with what I'm saying. And if you have a baby father or a husband or, you know, a boyfriend that is incarcerated and you have daughters by him, women, if you ain't in a good space with him, at least participate in trying to make sure that your daughters are still able to be around a man who could potentially shape her life in the best way.
Securus. Goodbye.